What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another deep learning in Halite video. In this video, what we're going to be doing is checking out the kind of results of everything up to this point and then talking about moving forward. Eventually, we have to stop this project because it's just going to take way too long for it to become anything really truly competitive, but I still think it's a really fun thing to just see how far you can get from something like random. So let's talk about it. So let's come in here first and check out some of our replays. So these are replays from phase 3's model. Again, all random, at least to start. So let me bring in just the most recent replay here. We got a bunch of replays, but I'll just bring in a couple. I don't want to... What has happened? Did I click play? I probably clicked play. Okay. At least purple looks pretty good. Let's speed up speed up the game rather. All right, 10x. Okay, purpley pink player appears to do pretty darn well. Green player does not look very good. And light green / yellowy green player also doesn't look very good. Okay, so, but again, these are all the same model, so the fact that we have that much of a delta between the players is kind of weird. The next thing I wouldn't mind checking into is, like if you click on any one ship, you can see how much halite the ship has. So in this case, this guy has got almost 1,000. He's got 987 halite. He needs to deposit that. You're just wasting time here. This ship has 0, so that's good. 265, not bad. 853 needs to go deposit. 330, maybe should deposit, but who knows. Let's check these guys. This guy's only 1. 976, again, needs to deposit. 462, quite a bit. 986 needs to deposit. 1,000! You know, green player, if green player would have just went and deposited everything as the game was coming to a close, green player would have won. Okay, so as you'll probably see in a lot of replays from like top players, at the end, all the ships just rushed their port because it doesn't matter if your ship sinks at the end, so the quickest way is just kind of suicide on your drop-off. And so we could incorporate this into the game at the end or something. But the real big problem, I think, is like even like halfway through the game, like when you shouldn't be rushing the port necessarily, we can check 500 probably should deposit, 972 should deposit for sure, 891 should deposit, 51. Purple actually did pretty good, so we're not even going to bother wasting time. But again, here 846 needs a deposit. These two guys are fine to continue along. 613 probably should deposit. 1,000! Deposit it! So, okay. So I think the thing I would like to do next is probably force ships to do that. This game actually looks pretty darn good. And also, I know we're ending games not very good. Like in terms of like actual competition, we would lose for sure. But in terms of an AI that's trained completely from random to learn to do these things, I just think this is the coolest thing ever. that it's learned to slowly pick up halite and slowly drop it off. I just think that's cool. Okay, so great. So let me close. And don't forget, like at the beginning, random was like collect 100 halite after 50 turns. So in theory, maybe you could extrapolate that to like say 500 turns and they collect 1,000 halite or something like that. But that doesn't appear, like in this case, we're clearly way beyond that number. And my guess would be you wouldn't actually randomly collect 1,000 halite after that many turns, but who knows? Probably should check that out too. Regardless, definitely learning something anyways, to get an edge. And some people have asked like how we won last year in the ML bot. Well, basically we had a rule-based bot that was really good, and then we used deep learning on the rule-based bot with some random movements, just like what we're doing here, and that was able to actually outperform the rule-based bot it was trained on and also get #1 ML bot. And that's all we're doing here is we're just slowly get edge, and so on. So anyways, But how could we fix at least like some of these little problems that we see? I mean, there's like two major things that we can do here. So, you want to make the decision. Do you want to make a rule-based bot and, just have, or basically, do you want to add rules to your bot and then be done with it? Or what you also could do is you could add things to your bot, and then those things that you added, add them into training data. So, for example, do exactly what we did here with Naive Navigate. So we're trying to train the AI to stop running into itself. So we use nav safe, right? But we threw that into the training data. We said, hey, by the way, use this as training data. If we needed to not move the way that we were planning to move or whatever, change the training data. Make that the new input data. So maybe the model could learn to not run into other friendly ships or even enemy ships for that matter. So anyways, so we can take that same thing and apply it here with hurry up and go deposit. So what I'd like to do is, let's just close these and close out of here. Let's, first I'm going to copy paste, and then we're going to rename this to ML2 drop off. Then, before I forget, let me change and run game to drop off here. So, whoops. Hey, man. Okay, go away. So we're going to replace this. So Control H, come down here, paste, replace all, save. Great. Good work, team. Okay, so now what we want to do is I'm going to get rid of this comment here. I don't really need that. First, we're going to clean everything up. No, just kidding. So we'll come down here and basically, I'm trying to think of like the cleanest way to do this, but also the quickest way to do this. Let's start by throwing an if statement here. If ship.halite amount is greater than or equal to constants.max_halite divided by 2. So if it's anything more than 500 halite, hey, we want to navigate to that shipyard. So how would we do this? Well, I vote we basically just do this. Copy. Pasta. Done. Okay, not really, but almost. All we need to do is here, rather than do the position and all that, what we're going to naively navigate to is just me.shipyard.position. Later, if you had more drop-offs, like if we decide to add them later on to have rules to convert ships to drop-offs, we could grab one of the drop-offs in the drop-off positions for whatever reason, or pick a random one or whatever. But for now, this is what we want to do. So again, this stuff here is all this in theory. We can save this choice, right? We can actually append that to the training data, right? Which we're doing right down here. Now, the other thing we need to do is if this is the case, do that. If this is the case, do that. Else, do that. And then otherwise, we're doing this silly, this secondary. This is not the smoothest way to do this, but just to save us from running Naive Navigate twice and slowing down our code, I'm going to copy this here, paste. Okay, so if random choice and safe nav, we'll do this. And then also if we make a model choice, we also want to run it through the safe nav. But this way, we're not doubling up on that safe nav. Also, that would cause confusion. Also, why is this tab ugly? Are you kidding me? What is he? What is this? What? Why is this happening? Why does that keep happening? Indent using spaces. Stop it. Why does that do that to me? Cool. Okay, we fixed that, but why do I have to keep making that change? And also, why is that not default? Why is the default tabs? The heck out of here. It's probably going to get angry at me if I don't fix these. That's frustrating. Okay, good. I think we're all set. All right. So, now, when the ship has more than 500 halite, it will go and naively navigate its way, hopefully, to the shipyard. Let's see. Okay, so what I'd like to do is we're going to take replays, make that replays old. Let's make a new replays. Replays. Then we're going to run game. Python, run game. Hopefully no errors. Come on. Okay, making it through some turns. All right. Okay, it looks like we're good. Let's see what happens. Replays, and I've already closed the watch, so let's go ahead and open up Halite.io watch. And I might have to like pause or something like that and come back when we've got like a healthy number of replays, because not every replay is going to be very good, and this AI is pretty bad when like there isn't a good amount of halite in the vicinity. So so it's kind of by chance if it's a good one or not. But anyways, let's see how we did. Okay, so this one's not bad. At least orange looks really good. I don't know how many ships orange ended up producing. We really like high ships. But we've got some 7 ships over there. It looks like orange maxed out at 5. But and there's a lot of jams happening here. I don't like that either. My guess is, I wonder what those guys have in terms of halite. We'll check them here in a second. Like this poor soul locked in the middle. He's at 0 though, no big deal. Any of these guys over 500? No. Any of these guys over 500? 8. No. Okay. Cool. How about green guy? Don't worry, while we're checking this BT dubs, we got other games running in the background. 247, 1. Okay, great. Okay, let's see what this next game did. Ew, this one looks even worse. Gross. Oh, more ships than this. And this should have been a pretty good game because we got a lot of good halite right here. I wonder, like, I wish we could stop the back and forth. I wonder too, like, I wonder if you know, it would be fun what if we also said if ship.position equals me.shipyard.position. Copy, paste, because we have a lot of these ships that keep finding their way onto. So I just wonder, like, what if we like kick that ship off? If okay, go. And so what if we make this? I guess we could make that an elif. This is getting sloppy. But I'm really curious to see if we could like constantly boot ships off of the the shipyard or any drop-off location, really. So you could continue doing stuff like this. You also could, like I was saying before, you could add in some rule-based things, like when, you know, how to head towards large patches of halite, or, you know, something like that, and then continue coaxing your AI to like learn the things that you want it to learn. Also, our neural network is pretty darn basic. We're not really doing a fancy AI at all. Let's just see how this one did. Oh, that might even be worse. At least they stay the heck off of it. These guys got lost. That's their problem. At least nobody's really hanging on the shipyard. We did definitely clear the shipyard pretty well there. These guys just aren't really collecting very much halite. And again, on these big maps, the AI has a really hard time coming back out here. I am curious though, like this guy, show me this ship. I'm kind of surprised like none of these guys have a good number of Halite. I also can enhance. I'm clicking on the ship. Okay, I don't know how much that ship has, but anyway, not the best. Okay, let's check this game. This looks like a pretty high ship game. Wow, look at this guy at the end. Woo! I do like the get the hell off of the shipyard code there. Every time they get off, like, man, that guy did good. He got 7 ships and at the very end, 3,000 Halite. That's a pretty darn good model. But Orange, you know, what are you doing over here, you loser? Womp womp. 74, 34, 6. I wonder if we should change the value. Like, you know, maybe that's too big, you know, so maybe rather than divide it by 2, divide it by, I don't know, 4. Run a couple games. Anyway, I'm probably going to stop it here. Unless I happen to do something more with this type of model. It's going to take a long time for it to eventually, you know, to be anything decent. I mean, we've played, I shudder to think how many games, like hundreds of thousands of games for sure. And it just goes slow. So I'm starting to lose my patience. But I do think, I mean, I think that's super cool. Like just to go from random to like something like seeing games like this where the players are pretty darn good. Or even this guy, I mean, he sucked and he only has 6 ships, but he collected enough Halite to produce another ship. I mean, that's still pretty cool. And again, all from random. Like, I just think that's pretty crazy. Okay, so it looks like we have at least this one game. What did we choose? Divided by 4, I think it was. That doesn't look to be very good. I don't think we want to div by 4. That's a strange looking game, though. Like, what are these guys doing? This might just be dumb model. Not very good, guys. You guys got that spot. They're like, yeah, this is the spot for all the cool Halite. This one doesn't look too good either. Yeah, like this guy didn't do anything. He produced some ships and then he just bebopped around. Yeah. So maybe some rules to better find some Halite. They clearly don't like to explore very much, and then if they do explore, they wind up super lost. Pretty often anyway. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm gonna stop it there. Pretty cool. Like I said, if I come up with something else, oops, I didn't try to open that. I still am not trying to. If I come up with something else or you know, some more cool things happen, I will be sure to update this. And just like I said before, if anybody has something that they really want to see done, I can implement that. Or if you want to see, you know, if you've got some sort of, you know, RL model or something else that you want to see done, feel free to submit it, and I'll be happy to dedicate some processing power to it. But for now, I think probably I'm going to take my focus to the replay parsing bot and see what I can do, because there is an abundance of high quality data there. You don't have to play so many games. So I think that's probably where I'm going to take my focus next, and I think that's probably what has the capability of winning Halite, or at least doing pretty darn good this year. So that's what I'm going to do. But this was a lot of fun, really cool. I mean, I just think that's cool to go from purely random to performing pretty well. And actually, I mean, it did pretty well before we forced it to go and drop off at certain amounts. We definitely saw like how much waste there was. But at the same time, I think that's pretty darn impressive. Also, I just thought about something. I don't think I ever... So I did change the model. Okay, yeah, so this is running phase 3. Okay. Curiously, I wouldn't mind checking model 2. Or which one was that? I guess it would be phase 2? Ooh, I don't know. I'm not sure which one it would be. I am curious to see like how this one might perform. Let's just run that really quick. And then come back to replays. This replay looks pretty good. Let's see. See how this one did. So this is like the last of the good ones. Or rather, the last of phase 3. Which may or may not have actually been a superior phase. But again, all of these guys, wow, this guy's at 8 ships. So that's 3 extra ships. And then he kind of... he doesn't do very good from there. But that's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, how are we doing over here? It looks like we should get at least one game here pretty quickly. Let's just throw this one up, see how this one did. This one doesn't look too bad either. Looks like he'll get at least 6 ships. This one's not the worst either. Yeah. Definitely would want to train like a bunch of different models. Keros, for example, has a ton of built-in models that you could check out, like MobileNet and Inception, all that kind of stuff. I'll probably still tinker with that, but most likely those models are like seriously overkill for what we're doing here, but I'd like to kind of poke into it. But just for the sake of keeping things simple, I think I'll probably leave it here. But I still want to see. I want to see at least one more game, and then I'll let you guys go. While we wait, those are my old members. I'll have to bring up the new members. Okay, so did we get a new game here? I think this should be a new one. You know, this model might actually be a superior model, unfortunately, to the first one. It's hard to say. The other one definitely collected more ships. But this one, I don't know, it seems to be a little more reliable. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. It might also just be like the most recent model that we actually made for whatever reason. Maybe it was overtrained, undertrained, like who knows. You definitely want to play with it for quite a while. Let's see. Any more games? Let me throw this one in. Looks like this was a big game. Yeah. This one's not the most beautiful. Let's see how many ships we got. Looks like 6 was the max. Man, that one game where they had like 8 ships. I've seen some games that have like 10 plus ships, but that's like super rare. So that's cherry picking at that point. But anyway, all right. So recent. There we go. Got it updated. Jean Giet, Jessica Hardesty, Tan Lee, and Alvis Tagatovs. Thank you guys very much for your support. You guys are awesome. Okay, so I think that's it for now. Whoops, that was the how to sponsor. If you didn't know how to sponsor, you can click on that beautiful blue join button down below. Otherwise, that's it for now. Questions, comments, concerns, suggestions for improvements to the code, or if I've made a mistake, there's a high probability I had done goofed somewhere along the way. So feel free to leave all that stuff down below. Continue the conversation at discord.gg/Centex, and I will see you guys next time.